Hey, this is Redban, and this is Your Mom's House on the Death Squad Podcast Network. All these podcasts can be found on iTunes. Search the iTunes store for Death Squad and subscribe to us. Also, please rate our podcast, comment on our podcast. The more rates, the more comments, and the more subscribers, the better the podcast becomes because it makes us shoot up in the rankings, and that's kind of like the Billboard magazine for podcasts. But at DeathSquad.tv, you could also find the video components to the shows, which I'm starting to throw on YouTube also. And you can find ways to donate. We did this whole show for free. It comes out of my pocket, actually. And I only live off of your donations. So please, if you have any bucks laying around that you want to send my way, hit the donation link at DeathSquad.tv. If you don't have any money or if you're a brokester, don't worry about it. There's Google ads now at DeathSquad.tv, like these banner ads on the right side. Just click on those a couple times. You can throw me a couple coins. All right. Now here's one of my favorite podcasts, Your Mom's House, with Tom Segura and Christina Pazsitzky. And yes, my voice is fucked right now.
Streets, that's where we meet. You make the night. I always cross the line. Abuse yourself. Get it out. What puts you on your shelf? What a voice.
Whoa. Welcome to Your Mom's House, everybody.
Oh.
We got a couple of mommies here, and today I'm Christina Pazsitzky with...
Hey, I'm Tom Segura.
And the fabulous...
Redban.
And today, we have a very special guest.
A mommy.
An honorary mommy, if you will, who's a huge fan of Rat. Please welcome Mr. Earl Skakel.
Hey, Earl.
Hey, guys.
And Earl, you know all the words to that song, I'm imagining.
I do. It was written by Stephen Piercy and Robin Crosby. The late Robin Crosby.
Earl is a fellow stand-up comedian for
Yes.
those who are getting to know him for the first time. He is a huge Rat fan.
Well, I'd say a metal savant. If
Savant.
You will, even.
A hockey fanatic.
Absolutely.
Wrestling.
MMA.
MMA.
And a comedic wonderkind, if you will.
He is. How you doing, Earl?
Listen, hearing Rat this early in the day almost got me hard.
Wow. We're going to stick with that cum theme, I guess, for the whole show.
I mean, they haven't been on regular radio in a while, so...
No.
Can I tell you a little trivia? A little something about that song, what it does for me?
Yeah.
So, about 5-6 years ago, I booked a commercial campaign to be a spokesman for Subway. And the campaign was that I was going to play Jared's brother.
No way.
Yeah. So
his
Jared,
derelict brother.
His derelict brother. Yeah. Jared could only be used to advertise like healthy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So there was only like eat this sub. It's low in calories, like whatever the turkey sub, and they're like, well, we also have a meatball sub and a chicken parm, and we can't use him to do that because it's not. So they're like, what if we get another guy? It'll be his brother, and his brother can be like Jared could be like, I'm gonna have this turkey sub, and then we'll cut to like Tom, and Tom will be like, I'm gonna have the meatball sub, like that kind of shit, right? Like,
that's my husband.
So I booked it, and they're like, it was a big contract. We're gonna shoot a minimum of 10 commercials, and so we go. I shoot 2 of them, and the first thing is they go. So the character's name is Jerome, and I was like, Jerome?
Like in the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, now Jerome.
I was like, this is, yeah. I go, that's like, that doesn't really fit. Like, I don't feel like I'm a Jerome. And they're like, you know what? You're right. It sounds too black. And I was like, yeah, kind of. So like, so we renamed it to Jermaine. Kind of like, that's perfect.
Less blacker.
So the first commercial that we shoot is Jared's family reunion in New Jersey. And I pull up, and like I crash my car into like rocks, and then I get out of the car. But as I pull up, I'm listening to Round and Round, and I had to memorize. I didn't know the song. I had to memorize it and mouth the lyrics So as I drove up, like I pull up and I'm like totally rocking out.
But that means that they licensed rats round and round for a Subway ad.
They
which
did.
Had to cost.
They did.
Like,
Well, it never aired, but I'm sure they.
Right, but they did.
So you filmed it and it never aired?
I filmed the two of them.
And did you ever see it?
Never saw it.
Oh, that's
But
so
tell them
lame.
how. But here's the thing: is that at the time they were like, "This is going to be like
They were like
$1 million."
They were like, you're not gonna be able to go anywhere without.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, it's going to be one of those like, commercial campaigns that just runs over and over.
Yeah.
And like I mean, there was things in my contract like I couldn't eat other fast food places.
Couldn't be seen eating
Yeah.
anywhere.
Wow.
Couldn't go to like McDonald's.
How long ago was this?
This was the summer of
Like
05. The
yeah.
summer of 05.
Do you think it was the song that they were like, fuck, we can't afford this. This is going to be way too expensive.
Actually, I know exactly what happened. The senior VP of marketing, and this happens a lot of times in corporate world and stuff, and in entertainment. He resigned like at the end of like it was just like his year to. He was like, I'm retiring, and when the new guy came in, you never want to take over somebody else's creative, right?
Right.
Because if it's good, they'll be like, give the credit to the old guy,
Right.
and if it's bad, they'll be like, well, you should have fucking done away with it. So usually, what they do is they just kill everybody's
Clean slate,
creative,
yeah.
and they start
That
over. So it got killed.
sucks.
But I mean, it was a bummer at the time because it was so much money. But it was like
Your life would have been completely different, probably, because that could have taken off where you
It
were
could have been
like
crazy.
the next Scrappy Doo.
But that's the huge
point.
curse of it, though. You know, is
Yeah.
like I would be like here all these years later, everybody would still be like, "Eat fresh, motherfucker!" Like when I walk by, and I probably would never like I wouldn't be taken seriously. Like I'm sure ever
No.
going out for gigs, like acting gigs, stand up. People would probably just all the time be like, "Why don't you just sub, motherfucker?" Like it would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, that, in the long run, it's better.
Damn, I want to see it, though. I wish there was
I
like a
wanna see it,
Subway
too.
Blu-ray DVD special. Like, I hope there's a Subway movie.
I did try to contact the ad agency, and I'm sure I can. It exists somewhere. Somebody has it somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Tommy, it's a blessing in the skies.
in the skies, way up there,
That you didn't get that, right?
Yeah, but Rat could have been back on TV.
dude. It would have
That's a good
been
point.
prominently featured too.
Damn
Round
it.
and round. Can I tell you that video, when that came out, I may have been like 8 or 9 years old. And you know the video of there's a girl in the gray
Yeah.
bodysuit and she like kind of, doesn't she tear it off or she's like stretching around on the table? And
She
she's
was a human rat
That's
shedding
what
her
that
skin.
is. Right.
And Rat was into concept videos.
By the way, Earl
That
just
blew my
said that.
mind.
Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna teach you how
Yeah,
stupid you are.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
contempt in his voice.
Yeah,
For me. Yeah. I
it was
heard
like a
Oh, I fucking
professor,
got it. Yeah.
and like his freshman was like, "But what if?" And he's like, "Listen, stupid.
Think they
This
were-
is
Yeah. I mean, what do you think they were cranking out Night Ranger videos? They were into the storyline.
yeah.
how did you? Or is it something that just did metal just resonate with you like the first time you heard it?
Yeah, I just was, you don't have to think when you listen to metal.
Sure.
You know,
That's a good point.
when Poison is singing Unskinny Bop, you're not like,
Skinny bop, bop, bop.
that bass line.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't really understand what Weezer's singing about, so.
I understand.
It just clicked with you, man.
Yeah, the videos were great. I mean, Tawny Katane spreading her legs.
That was great.
Tawny Katane's still going to stand-up shows all the time,
Is
by the
she?
way. She goes to the Irvine Improv all the time. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And the
all the
Comedy
time.
Store.
Did she go to the store, too?
Really?
She's had some relations with several comics.
Get
Really?
the fuck out. Are you serious?
I won't name names.
Yeah, please
but
do.
I know two in particular.
Really?
Who
Yeah.
crushed it?
Attractive ones?
Rick
like
Ingram?
cool?
No, not Rick Ingram. I can't. I don't want to say, but they're, one's dad. I can't say. I don't want to throw
One's
these.
dad.
Oh, I got it. I already got it. I deciphered it. I won't say it because he doesn't want to say it.
Brody Stevens.
Brody Stevens.
No, Brody's asexual.
Yes.
Do you think?
Suck
Yeah,
it.
I think he
I've
might
never
be.
seen him with a girl in 10 years.
Is he asexual?
All he talks about are his acne scars.
But here's the thing. I think because I've actually ruined Stephen Brody Stevens' game once. We were at the Improv in the hallway, and he was talking to some sweet hot babe, and I was like, I nerd out when I see him because I'm a huge Brody Stevens fan. And I was like, "Hi, Brody," trying to get his approval, and I could see the look on his face was like, "You fucked this up for me." Like I was making progress. I was talking to this girl, so I don't know. I think.
I don't think he did.
But Brody's whole life is a mystery to me, and I want to know more. I feel like I need to know him.
It would be great.
I don't think he did fuck up his game because he was probably just dropping baseball names to this girl. And she's like, "Who's Andre Ethier? I want to suck your dick."
Yes. Yes. Well, first of all, we didn't catch up with our mommies.
Yeah.
Mommy, you were in North Carolina.
Oh, this past weekend,
This
yeah,
past
yeah.
week. Tell
I
us a
did.
little bit
Well, I
about
went to
your-
Atlanta first. I did the Buckhead Theater on Thursday.
Yes.
We did it with Rory Scovel. I don't know if you know Rory. Very funny gentleman. He's from originally South Carolina. He lives in L.A. Really funny guy. And Carl LeBove,
Oh, yes.
a Comedy Store veteran, legend of the store, if you will, from the Kinnison days. And yeah, it was great. We had a blast, great turnout, and then we went to Asheville, North Carolina, for the Laugh Your Asheville Off Comedy Festival.
Clever name.
Isn't it? It's a play on words.
I get it.
I got it.
I get it. It's so hard to come up with names for comedy things.
I know, or
It's
clubs.
It's never
Like when you hear
Oh,
the fucking names
shit.
of clubs, especially like the independent names. Like when you think about it, the Comedy Store is a great name.
Yeah, and
for
it
a
makes
club.
sense,
It makes
too.
sense.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the Comedy
classy.
Store. Then there's Rascals. And, like, there are Giggles and Side Splitters.
Side Splitters
Giggles.
is the worst.
I like giggles.
I like Dr. Grins. That's my
Dr.
all-time
Grins.
favorite.
Grand Rapids.
Stupid name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
It's
the
a
wet spot.
Dumbest name.
The wet-
Bet you do.
There is no wet spot.
That in Houston?
Wisconsin.
Rooster T. Feathers.
Rooster T.
That's a terrible fucking
That one's
name.
really bad. Yeah. Why is it? Who
What's
even
the one
thought of
up?
that?
What's the one further up there? Pepper Bellies. It's just a silly.
Pepper bellies.
Yeah,
Tommy T's?
Tommy T's is one. That's also a steakhouse. It's like you get like primo steak at that place.
Really?
Yeah, that's like
an
a grade
incentive.
A steakhouse and comedy club.
There's very few comedy clubs that have great food. Like Manhattan Beach Comedy Magic, they have really good food there. That's worth the drive
Flappers.
out.
Flappers
oh,
has some
Flappers,
amazing
shit.
food.
Their
Does it
buffalo
really?
wings are off
Yeah.
the chain.
Also
yeah.
a ridiculous name for a place.
Flappers.
Flappers.
Oh,
Fucking
I
ridiculous.
love Flappers. I
Flappers
can't
is
shit
a
on
loose
them. I
woman,
love
right?
them. No, it's from the 20s.
Yeah, I
Flapper
thought it was
girl.
isn't that a hooker, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you meant her private parts.
Or Flappy.
She was so
Flappers.
loose.
The
it
beef
was flapping.
curtains.
I think of titties when I think of flappers, right? She's got big old flappers on her.
No.
No,
No?
I don't know. We'll look it up.
I think of Giny.
But the comedy festival was great. It's really, really fun. I highly recommend if you're a comic, getting into that thing, submitting to it or whatever. And it was great, man. It's like it feels way different. I've done a bunch of festivals now, and it was the first one that's like you feel like it's a community based thing. Like it's
Right.
small. It's really accessible.
Did you get your face painted and shit?
You can do that. They
I
have.
love getting some whiskers.
I
put
did
on my
buy.
cheeks.
I did buy some freshly made, like sweetened walnuts that were
Yum.
hot and
Yum.
like in the little fair kind of playground area.
Do you like the Carolinas? Because I love the Carolinas.
Yeah, I went to
I'm-
college there.
Oh,
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, yeah, of course, it's great, man. I mean, the people are super friendly. Asheville is like it has that split between like gross hippies and then like
Fucking
genuine,
hate gross
outgoing,
hippies.
nice Carolina people.
Right.
So like every time you're like, oh, you're disgusting, then you'd meet someone who's like really
You smell like patchouli
There was
and balls.
I honestly did this. There were so many people that had intense BO
Yeah.
that like because they're like there's those hippies like will really embrace that like I'm never
hate
showering.
them.
That like the second day I'm walking down the street. It's really nice to walk around Asheville, like really nice. Trees and like parks and with like city squares that have like, all kinds of
And like homeless
fountains.
guys jerking off.
There'll be some of that.
yeah.
But then I'm crossing the street and I stand there and I get a whiff like of like really strong where like you can't help it, your face kind of moves on its own and your eyes start to flutter a little. That I turn to the guy next to me and I didn't think about it. I go, "Is that you, dude?"
Are you
And,
serious?
yeah. And he looked at me like, "What?" Like he didn't know what I was talking about, and I was like, "Come on, man!" And then I realized that right, basically behind him, where there was a trio, a lot of folk singers and stuff will set up shop, and they'll just
So
play.
disgusting.
They'll play like three of them will play on like sing on a corner, and it was one of them that just. It was
Dirtbags.
basically like a white guy that had not showered in so long that he had brown like tint to him. You know, like
God.
it was pretty gross. But
You should carry around. You used to carry around that little spritzer bottle in your pocket all the time, and
That's not going to help that
Can I
guy.
tell you that patchouli smell? It reminds me of college because I went to school in San Francisco.
oh, it's so gross.
And it's
hate
the
it.
smell of Haight Street. Like you walk
It's
down to Haight
so
Street to
gross.
buy your weed or acid or whatever, and it to me it smells like dirty hippie girls with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you haven't showered and your box is filthy. Like I just imagine that their box is just dirty and the patchouli covers the filth. It doesn't really mask anything though, because now
No.
you just smell like dirty box and patchouli.
hate
You
it.
know, it's the fucking like who likes the smell?
The smell of crab pee.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It's the smell of you know what? It's the smell of not trying in life. Is
Yeah,
what it's the
it's
smell
the smell
of.
of failure.
Yeah, it really
The
is.
scent of
It's the
failure.
smell of I gave up before it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
the kind of girls I go for.
Now, did you grow up here in Los Angeles? Have you always lived here?
I grew up in
Skakel's
the
a native.
Yeah, I grew up in the hills of Bel Air.
What?
Did you really?
Well, I tell people that, and everyone thinks I'm loaded. You know, my dad bought the house in the 50s when Bel Air was like nothing more than Culver City, and
Yeah.
I just grew up, and then, you know, OJ was my neighbor,
No.
No.
Kareem. OJ used to throw me the football.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Skakel, are you being serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wait, how far down did he live from you?
He lived like maybe 6 houses down. and-
Seriously.
Did you ever murder anyone together?
No, he was cool with me. I mean, he always was nice to my sister, so he didn't have any issues with blondes back then. But
Was he just crushing pussy? Like, did you see
oh,
him?
it'd be different. Him and James Caan were down the street, and Kareem would jog, you know, in his like dolphin shorts. And this is
Yeah.
like Bel Air in the '70s. You didn't really see black guys in Bel Air yet, so to see a 7'2", you know, black guy running around half nude was really set the neighbors off.
Yeah.
Where like would they go, "What's going on with that black?"
Well, basically, it was like an alien. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
Kareem, too, looks, right?
Yeah.
We saw him, didn't we, in the
We saw
airport?
him get on the shuttle
Yeah.
at the CVG, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Airport.
Yeah, he's a big old son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer.
He's a
Yeah.
very strange-looking humanoid, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there literally were no black people in Bel Air in the
Yeah.
'70s. I mean, the guy who took me to school, we got pulled over several times by the cops because they thought he was kidnapping me. He was dark skinned though. He was like Dikembe Mutombo black.
No, who was this person?
Who was this guy?
taking-
Oh, pull that mic a little closer to you.
He was like a, I don't want to say butler. That's a bit dismissive, but he was a butler.
Look at you, Silver Spoon. But it sounds to me like you did have money growing up. I mean,
Well, I mean,
I
we
didn't have a
weren't
black
poor.
butler.
Well, it's great if you can get one.
So this guy, did he live at the house?
Yeah, my dad was away on business a lot, so we had a Leroy was his name.
no, it wasn't.
Leroy Prince.
And he was like your Manny?
Yeah, he took us to school and whipped up some real good food, you know, bacon, for a lot of fried food.
Did you
That's
ever-
weird.
Did they ever like do anything creepy to you? Like when you could never tell your parents? Like,
Well, I had a tutor, a big titted tutor.
Oh, this is maybe goes to your big tit fetish.
It does.
Yeah.
It's possible, but you know, my brother had this big titted tutor, and I mean, they were huge, and there was a possible molestation,
Uh-oh.
and I was supposed to get her like the week after he was done with her, and he told my mom. And so I got this some guy named
asshole.
Harold. Yeah, he could have waited a week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
let us all get a
Do you
little.
do you ever crank him out to her?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I cranked him
Really?
out to Harold too. He was, he was a
No,
good-looking guy.
what was your father, what did he do for a living that
Well-
enabled you guys to live there?
My dad really was an amazing guy. He was on the cover of Life magazine.
What?
He was like Jacques Cousteau before, Jacques Cousteau. He was like killed whales with his bare hands, and he was like a soldier of fortune.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, yeah. In
What?
the '60s, if you look up James Skakel, he was on the, and this was when Life was like the only magazine out there, so it was
Yeah.
a big deal. And
So wait, he was a treasure hunter?
that was one part of his life.
An
and then-
explorer? Like
He was an explorer. Like we don't really have a guy like that in
No.
today's.
that was your father.
Yeah, And then he had
shit.
his business side where his dad in the Depression would drive by oil refineries and buy their waste, and he would turn it into graphite. So it was like
wow.
huge.
So that's buku, right?
But then he lost all his money.
Oh, how did he lose his money?
He went deep on this oil project in the Amazon, and if it would have hit, we would have been billionaires.
Wow.
But it didn't hit.
Look at your life. Who are you, Earl Skakel?
I'm a
I
man of
didn't even know any.
mystery.
I didn't know this about you.
That's
I've known you for
incredible,
years.
man.
Yeah.
What do you think I tell these stories at open mics in North Hollywood?
This is incredible. So you have how many siblings do you have?
I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
It's a big family.
I'm the baby.
Oh wow.
And what's your mother about?
She was like a housewife. You know, she was a very. They died 2 months apart. It's very
my
romantic.
God.
Really?
And yeah, in a weird kind of way.
Was it recently?
98.
Okay, so it's not too recent.
First, the family dog died of 21 years.
Oh.
And this dog should have been put down a long. You know, he had like one eye fall out, and
What?
my mom just stuck it back
Scooped
in.
it back.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't believe in vets. Our dogs were like home medicine. I mean, we had one dog named Messier who had so many ailments. I had to take him because no one else wanted him when they died. So I took him to the vet, and he literally had like a 10-page medical report. He had like cirrhosis of the liver, and
Oh my God.
you know. But I nursed him back to a nice life.
Really?
Oh.
Named after the hockey player.
Yeah, of
Messier.
course.
I was
Of
gonna,
course.
I've never heard that name.
Mark
looked-
Messier?
Yeah.
Wait, so were you aware? Like, I always wonder this when people have extremely accomplished parents or a parent, and like
Yeah.
like really like iconic kind of. Are you aware at a certain what age are you aware that like dad is not just like every other dad? You know.
Well, you know, here's another like wacky sideline of my family. Is his sister's Ethel Kennedy. So
What?
Who was married to Bobby?
Shut the fuck up.
That's his sister.
That's his sister, who's still alive. So you know, it's a
got
wacky
Kennedys in
family,
your
but
family.
not really. I mean, it's by
So,
marriage.
Bobby
Still.
Kennedy.
Was Ethel's husband?
Right. So that would have been your uncle.
Yeah, but by marriage. So I don't. It's not
Still.
that.
Still, you're
Still
marrying
young.
into the Kennedy family.
Yeah.
Your dad is basically a Jacques Cousteau. That's crazy.
It's a wacky. I mean, my dad was like a scratch golfer. He was just like.
Were you guys close?
My dad, he was kind of like a superhero. You didn't really talk to him unless he came to you. So he was
Yeah.
a quiet guy. But I was more close with my mom, who was like a country bumpkin.
Where was she from?
Cartersville, Georgia.
Aw.
And your dad was he from
Chicago.
here? Oh, he's from Chicago. So he was the guy though that like if you could have been like I'm in Libya, he'd be like, let me call
Yeah.
Gaddafi real quick.
Yeah.
'Cause I know him.
I've got some.
He knew guys in every part of the world.
Oh yeah, I mean he was. But the great thing about my dad was he was friends with billionaires and golf caddies, and he treated them the same.
So, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, he was a member up at Bel Air Country Club, which was a really, foo-foo kind of place. And he would show up with his shirt inside out, mustard stains on it, underwear hanging out. He was a maniac.
That's awesome.
Did you know when you were a kid like who OJ was when he's throwing you the ball?
I mean, I knew he was the Hertz guy.
The Hertz guy.
He wasn't. I didn't really know his football prowess.
Yeah, you didn't know that's the Heisman Trophy winner, right?
Yeah, I mean, but he was so nice to me. He would throw me the football, and Stallone lived down the street, and this
Jesus.
is when he lived with Susan Anton. She was that tall blonde. And he'd have a lot of girls over at his house.
Sure.
Crazy.
Do you remember growing up? Do you remember any crazy stories like, oh, that one day, Carrot Top did this or that? Was there anything that you remember that sticks out that was just like growing up in Hollywood?
Well, right next door to us was Harry Nilsson, who was like a legendary, like a 70s folk singer. Like he wrote songs with the Beatles. He would always crash his car into our gate. He got shit-faced. I mean, he was a boozer, man. I mean, he was a boozer.
I love that.
I mean, his face was so red. I mean, it's like it was another planet. But, it was just normal, seeing that. And, no really wacky stuff. I mean, we had a neighbor who was a swinger. And
How did you know?
You could just tell, you know, he would always have girls around him in bikinis, and it was a different girl each week, and he was kind of a wacky guy. I think he was a coke dealer, too.
That's so funny.
That's so intense.
You know
dude.
what's interesting is that comedians generally come from at least like a lower socioeconomic or like Hard Knocks. Definitely like, super, at least
Yeah.
my family. And,
No, a lot of them
Triple
do.
A
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
week, his dad's a professional gambler, and it's the opposite for Earl. It sounds like you came from a pretty affluent, like accomplished,
Privileged.
awesome.
You know?
Well, it was
it's
more
very rare.
lucky
It's very rare
than
Right.
privilege, because
Yeah.
like my dad, you know, when I say Bel Air Country Club, people think, wow, you know, like today, I think it costs $200,000 to be a
Oh my
member there,
God.
but my dad joined, it was like $1,500. So, and you know, the house would probably sell for $8-9 million, but back then I think he bought it for like 300. I mean, it was just luck that everywhere he went, he bought low and sold high.
So crazy. Uh-oh. Dental.
Sorry, Earl. This is
Time.
No,
it's an
It's
interruption.
time.
No need to be trying to be
Love
rude, but
these.
this is a exclusive dental update here on your mom's house. Christina, what's going
You guys, I do have a dental update.
Oh,
We started doing this feature a while back, about 3 months ago. Tom and I were undergoing massive dental issues. I have an issue, guys. I think I might have a fucking cavity.
on? How's this possible?
Ah, I'm so mad. I know.
You had
know.
we were at the dentist. You had everything taken care of. Everything was examined, x-rays.
I paid for
cleanings.
everything. Believe me, I was $3,000
Tell us what's going
worth of
on.
shit.
What's going on?
Well, I'm on Weight Watchers, and so I've been eating. Yes, thank you, Redban. Thank you. I'm trying not to be a disgusting pig, which we'll talk about later. But I was eating some veggies cold out of the fridge, and I noticed some pain on my upper fucking tooth in my jaw. And then I drank water, and it was hurting again. So I'm a little cautious now. It might just be a heat and cold sensitivity, which I've had on other teeth, and I'm hoping it will pass.
well, usually that comes from a tooth problem, though, when you have like
Yeah.
a heat or cold sensitivity.
I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed right now.
I'm so mad. I
pretty
just
sorry.
was there.
I mean, I thought you would take care of them after we.
I've been brushing and flossing. Do you floss, Earl?
I do. I got a
Good.
wacky dentist story.
What's your dental update?
Well, I was reading this book about Kiss, and
Interesting.
Paul Stanley talked about this great dentist in Brentwood. So I'm like, oh, I'll go to this guy. So I go in there for the exam, and he hands me an estimate for $18,000.
What?
What?
Dr. Stan Golden of Brentwood. If you're filthy loaded, I mean, $18,000 worth of work.
Is that all new teeth?
Basically, and he's like, we can start today. And I'm like, no, we can't. He wanted to give me a $3,000 mouth guard to sleep in.
What?
It was the most crazy thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's bullshit. I have a
is.
dental update.
Uh-oh.
I was in Montana for the weekend, fortunately, and Montana's great. It's beautiful, but everyone there is like, hiding from the law. or there was at our hotel there was like these two guys that got off a motorcycle with like a 3-year-old girl, and
Jesus.
they were like,
Wow.
they go to the front desk, and I just happened to be walking behind them, and they were like, we need a room, and they were like, 2 beds or one, and they're like, one, and I'm like,
Oh
what
my
the fuck is going on
God.
here, and don't look them in the eye, just walk to your room, Anyways, the only place that was nearby, we didn't have a car, so we had to live off eating at McDonald's for 3 days, which is the grossest
What?
fucking place
I
ever.
thought this was a vacation.
No. This was me.
Oh.
I'll tell you later. But so there was only a McDonald's there, so we actually had to live eating McDonald's
You
for
ate
3 days.
Mickey D's
Oh.
for
Fucking, it was the gross. We lived on. There was like a gas station right next to and a McDonald's. That's all we had. Like
That's
miles.
gross, dude.
Have you
Yeah.
shit yet?
Huh? Oh yeah, I shit out Pringles. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But the guy at McDonald's, there was a manager at McDonald's. I mean,
Yeah.
he was general manager. He was there every single day, and this dude had 6 teeth, and they were all trying to escape his body, and they were pointing out of his mouth, so he couldn't even shut his lips. And they weren't like, how when you see teeth, he had it where there was no gum, so there was like these long teeth that looked like the size of your little finger, just sticking out of his mouth, and his lips just rested on it. And so when he was just we rang up. We're trying to get an iced coffee with low fat milk, but you can't do that there, I guess. But when he was like thinking, or when he has his mouth closed, it just looked like his mouth with like 5 dots, like heads sticking out of it, not just his teeth that were pointing out that direction.
That's rough, dude.
Montana is a horrible place.
No, it's not a horrible place.
Well, it's a beautiful landscape, but I did a tribble run there.
Yeah.
My first time featuring was a tribble run, which we said we talk about this last week.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
A tribble run is booked by a guy named David Tribble, and they're essentially 2 weeks of hell gigs, and you're driving 8 hours a fucking day to get to some S-hole. And you're at biker bars and the hotel. We said he booked us in a hotel once that had been shut down for prostitution, not 2 weeks before. That's the tribble run. And Montana, I was in, I think, Butte, and I was at a biker bar, and I bombed harder than I've ever bombed in my life. You just burped into the mic.
Yeah.
I saw you. And it was one of those bombings that I went into the alleyway and started crying, and I was like, I need to quit comedy. Like, it was one of those sets where you're like, I'm questioning everything I've ever done up until this point.
Yeah.
Like, it was so terrible. So that's my Montana.
I have a question if you guys know this. If you guys know do you guys have any education on two-way mirrors? Because the hotel we were staying at it was very awkward. See, I went there with my girlfriend's feature dancing there at this place called Teasers, which was a nice place. It was like this strip club in the middle of nowhere, and it was attached to a bar, and it was pretty cool. But the hotel was oddly really far away, and like there was like nicer hotels closer and everything, but we were at this hotel in the middle, opposite direction, and I just found it odd. Like everybody in the hotel kind of like had like this kind of weird.
Would they come pick you up then? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's just like being a comic. Being a feature dancer, it's the exact same thing as being a comic. They pick you up at the airport. You have to go do radio. You have, all that crazy shit.
Wait, but as a feature, is there a headliner dancer or just
no? That's
you.
Yeah,
they're
the feature. You're the
okay,
feature.
Sorry, okay.
And so it was kind of odd. Like the front desk person was just like, "So do you guys get a lot of people there last night?" Like, and it was like, "How do you even know that?"
Wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of weird. So we get into this room, and I'm thinking like, "All right, this is like their version of like the comics room, like a comedy condo." But oddly, there was like this long mirror that was right around the bed that looked so awkward. Like it was a black mirror. Like it wasn't like a normal mirror. It was like had this black tint to it. And I'm like trying to do like, I thought there was like a trick where you put your finger on the mirror, and if there's like a depth between your finger and the reflection of your finger, that's supposed to mean that there's like it's a two-way mirror.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend's like, no, there's better mirror technology nowadays. It's harder to detect or something. So now I don't know if you guys
thought it was two-way though.
Yeah, the whole time I'm thinking like there's like a room next to us, and that's how
where the McDonald's manager's like,
and I'm thinking like all the high
get
rollers
somebody
have like stadium seating on the other side of the microtel, and they're just like fucking sitting there like, all right,
oh man,
let's do this.
Is it weird? Like, so you got to go? Do you go to the club every night with her?
Yeah. Well, the first night I didn't because I was just too tired. But the other 2 nights I did. And
do they treat you like? Does the staff like? Oh, you're with her. That's cool. They're nice to you.
Yeah, they were really nice staff. But what I found weird is how the staff treats the girls. It's not like how a manager treats the feature comic. It's more like, no, you're working for me, and you're doing exactly what It was awkward.
Like what kind of? They're like, you're gonna go give dances to people.
Yeah, you're going to go in here and you're going to play a game of cooter ball, and if you don't play, and she's like, what's cooter ball? And there's like where you take this shot glass, put it in between your tits, and then you have them shoot rolled up money, and they try to, which makes sense. Like if you're at a strip club and a bunch of guys are drunk, like the best way to get money on the stage is play a game that has something to do with sports.
Yeah.
So, but it's like they kind of made. It was more like, no, you're working for us, kind of.
Yeah.
Really?
It's so interesting, though.
And she's a good attitude about it, or
yeah. I mean, because honestly, she made a shitload of money from it.
Sure.
Like in 15 minutes, I was like in the green room. Like she's like, can like here, I'll put all this money together for you, and it was like just retarded. Like I tweeted a photo of it. It was just retardedly stacks of money, and it's just like, holy shit, this is so much fucking money.
And that's just tips.
Yeah, and what's weird is like you don't think about this, but a girl works for 3 days. they look like they just fucking robbed a bank. And there's, you know, in the middle of nowhere, there's not her Bank of America anywhere near. So she has to travel with all this money. It looks like we were fucking bank robbers.
Now, do you have to tip out? Do the girls have to tip out?
Oh, yeah. She tips. Well, at least, I don't know if you're supposed to, but she tipped everybody. Every single person that worked at that club, she tipped.
Really?
That's probably
Yeah.
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's under the radar too. Like, there's no tax.
Yeah. Well, I think she claims
You gotta
it.
claim-
I think she has to claim
yeah,
it still
claim
or something like that.
Now,
awesome.
that's I want
The fuck
to
was I
go
doing
on
at that
this
age?
for a long time, but I wanted to get back to. We don't have that much time.
Right.
Weight Watchers and stuff. So,
Can I tell you, like, I gained like 15 pounds this year on the road, just eating like mozzarella sticks and Chardonnay and shit, just being lonely. Like, you know, you're so lonely, and I would just eat like bowls of mac and cheese and just sleep. I woke up one time with a Lunchable, like a thing of cheese next to my head, like one morning. Like, it's bad. So I've been doing Weight Watchers, which is fucking awesome. And Redban did it too, right?
You've done it.
I lost 70 pounds on Weight
Yeah,
Watchers.
it's
in
70 pounds.
3 months.
That's crazy.
I tell you, one of the worst things the best thing about Weight Watchers is the meetings. Like, I don't care what people say. You have to go to these meetings where you talk and give advice. Like, hey, you know, there's like turkey bacon at pavilions, and it's only 2 points and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to like learn new tips. But I liked it because I got really baked before I used to go. And it was just a bunch of women, you know, and there are a couple fat guys in the corner, and you know, but the problem was I started losing so much weight because I kind of hacked Weight Watchers. I only I only ate like half the points I was supposed to eat, and like I just wanted to lose weight super fast. So all the people started to resent me.
Really?
And then they have like these like ribbon ceremonies every week where like, well, Brian lost 5 more pounds, so he gets another ribbon and a keychain and a star.
Really, people would resent you for real?
Yeah, it was like
Openly?
No, but you could tell these people were just giving me these looks like, what the fuck? This is the second ribbon in a row that this guy's won
You were
in 2
hacking
weeks.
it,
And
so you did half the points?
yeah, what I did is, see, when you're on Weight Watchers, you get a certain amount of points based on your weight and, you know, if you're a male or female or whatever. And in those points are like, you know, like a turkey sandwich is like 6 points or whatever. You know, who cares? What I would do is I would only eat half the points, and I would eat tons of vegetables.
Yeah, I
so
do that.
I would get this huge bowl, like a salad bowl, and chop up every single vegetable I can think of, and then I'll get a 1 point tortilla and just make like burritos out of vegetables.
That's smart.
You know, so I was just getting stuffed
Yep.
as much as I can on vegetables because vegetables are 0 points for the most part. And then I would have like 15 points for the whole day, and I'd be like, okay, now I have 15 points. I'm going to have like a fucking lean pocket or something.
Yeah.
You know? So the biggest secret I could give is just eat shitloads of vegetables until
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
can't
doing.
fucking breathe anymore.
Yeah.
You're so stuffed with vegetables. And then you won't even eat half your points. Like, I was just...
So true.
Very smart.
My problem is alcohol because I like to drink like 2 glasses of wine a night.
That's no problem.
But that's like 14 points, dude.
What?
Yeah, alcohol's high. It's like
For wine?
6 points per.
I thought wine was 2 or 4 points. Unless they
No,
changed.
they
They just
changed point
changed the whole
plus
point
now.
thing.
Let's
yeah.
be
Yeah,
honest.
alcohol's
Let's be
lower.
honest. You like
Yeah.
to drink a lot more than that.
No, I took Tommy.
Breakfast, you usually have a glass of wine.
I drink a fifth of brandy, like that guy last night on Intervention.
I got the best new drink, by the way, guys. It's this vodka. I think it's called Pinnacle, but it's Pinnacle, and it has they have 5 different flavors, and one of the flavors is cream, and it's just like it tastes like ice cream or something. But you mix it with diet root beer, it tastes like a root beer float. And
Wow.
it's the most dangerous drink in the world.
Oh no, root beer floats are good.
Yeah, fatty ones.
I've always fluctuated and struggled with weight. Like I've been in tip top shape before, like where it's like, you know, you can't get in that much better shape, and I've been like an absolute human piece of shit, and like
Manuel Uribe.
yeah, right now I'm definitely fat and overweight and need to lose weight, but I'm not anywhere. No,
He's
I mean,
cute. I like him this way.
no, I am.
I like my huggy.
I'm
bear
like I'm
this.
230. You know, I mean, I'm stronger than I've been in a long time because I've been hitting the weights pretty hard. But I definitely need to lose weight. But it's always a thing. Like it's definitely like I'm not one of the people who's like there's people who just go through life like.
Same.
It's not like you look like you're fucking
Yeah,
in shape, dude.
Skakel's ripped.
I work
you-
out like 2 hours every day.
Every day?
What?
Yeah.
How many days a week?
Every day, pretty much.
7 days a week?
Wow.
For the most part.
Wow, dude.
I just
Got a great jawline too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
there's no face meat hanging off you. It's like
No.
it's very
He's
strong.
lean. He's a machine.
I take a lot of diuretics and laxatives. And,
Now, were
You're
you
like a supermodel.
were you an athlete in school? Like middle school, high school, all that stuff? Did you compete in sports?
in grade school, I was like the Jewish Shaq. I mean, I was just dominating because I've been the same size since the 3rd grade. I mean, my doctor thought I was going to be like 7 feet.
Really?
I was a huge kid, and and then I got to high school, and I never met anyone my age bigger than me. And there were these 2 black kids on the football team my age, and I was like, wow. I looked at them like they were aliens because,
Because they're black.
well, yeah.
That too in Bel Air.
I mean, I went to grade school in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I mean, that was lockdown for in the 70s. It's a different era now, but so my mom wouldn't sign the death certificate for the football team because
She saw them. She's like, those
Yeah.
guys might
They're
kill
gonna
you.
crush you.
she was like, "Wow, it's like that scene in Fast Times where they were like, you flying for the games?" or So I was an athlete, but I didn't get to play sports because I was on the golf team.
Okay,
There's a
but
golf
then did
team?
you?
Only in Beverly Hills is there a golf
My high
team
school had a
that's
golf
called-
team.
What?
Yeah,
What the fuck, man? I grew up in the valley. We didn't have any of that.
actually, and so did the other school down the street. They had a golf team too. But that's Florida. I think beach, communities.
It's big golf in Florida.
Yeah.
There's no cholos in Bel Air.
We had a ski club.
A skeet club?
Really?
Yeah, we used to go skiing once a week. And
No
it was a part
shit.
of school.
Wait, where's that was in Ohio?
Ohio? Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think there would be a ski.
Jesus.
Yeah, it snows a lot in fucking Ohio.
Wait, so did you? But did you stay? You were always active. Like, were you lifting and running in high school, even if you're not on a team? Or no?
Yeah, because I
You were.
figured that was probably the best time to get laid. Just
Yeah.
working out, and I just probably overcompensated, and but then I was on the golf team. I really wasn't a good golfer, but they wanted to play at my dad's country club, so they put me on the team so we could practice there.
It's just so you have great habits. It sounds like
Yeah, I'm a creature of
thing.
habit.
That's a big thing is discipline. I cannot believe how much weight you lost.
Yeah, right.
I actually went a long time, I think, without seeing you at one point, and it might have been during that where I saw you before you had done it,
Right.
and I was just like, oh, you're a chubby dude, and then the next time I saw you, I did not even recognize you. Like
Yeah.
it was like it was like you had been melted.
Yeah, I fluctuate a lot. Like right now, I'm kind of on the way up to gaining weight,
Gaining weight?
because especially since the McDonald's Montana
Yeah.
thing.
That'll do
Yeah.
it.
But no, I've gotten to a point where I eat healthy. And Weight Watchers is the best if you're struggling for weight, because not only does Weight Watchers work, but it really gets in your brain and it helps
Yeah.
you. Like when I'm out, I'll be like, I want to eat a burger so bad, but no mayonnaise. No, I don't want any cheese. Like you're thinking like all these things you normally don't think of. Like, oh, that's 4 points, that's 2 points. So it really helps, and I still do that, but I don't know.
Plus, once you get used to eating like low-fat versions of shit, it's
Yeah.
just like low-fat cheese as opposed to getting like the full fat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little things like that really.
I definitely have to have some structure. I realized in order to, I mean, I've been home. I go to the gym because
Adorable.
I figured out if I just kind of wing it, that shit's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
It's hard on the road.
Oh, the road
That's-
is
that's
that's
very
what fucking
hard.
got me, man.
Yeah.
Because like you're in an airport, so your day starts at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. You go to the airport, you get on a flight, you land somewhere in the middle of fucking.
Well, don't forget
America.
before at that airport, if you're like, I'm fucking
Yeah.
hungry, this
What are your
flight's going to
options?
suck.
Right.
It's usually
The
like Mickey
bakery.
D's or something, or a bakery.
Right,
Yeah.
CPK.
Yeah.
You've got that La Brea Bakery in the Delta.
Yeah.
and that's it. So now you're eating a piece of shit to get on a plane, and then now you're in the Midwest. You're in a hotel where there's nothing around you. You have no car because you can't afford to rent a car because you're not making that much money.
Yep.
So now what? I go down to the hotel. And I'm in the Midwest. They eat iceberg lettuce and ranch, if
Yep.
that's the salad. And everything else is like ribs or cheesy beef or whatever the fuck. There's just no way to do it. Like,
It's hard.
it killed me. And McDonald's will kill you too, eating that shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. It is rough.
And there's no gym. I mean, usually.
Yeah.
A lot of places don't have the gym, and then it's really easy to you can make that it's a split second kind of thing where you go when you arrive and you're like, I'm fucking tired, and you
Yeah.
decide if let's say they do have a gym, you're like, am I gonna go work out or I'm gonna take a nap right now?
Yeah.
You take that nap and then you wake up from the nap where you're like, I gotta get something to eat before the show, and then you've
course.
talked yourself out of working out that day. You know what I mean?
course,
It's like
of
it's an endless thing where you can easily get to talk
Yeah.
yourself out of doing
well,
anything.
Plus, travel takes it out of me. Period. Like
For sure.
you're in a different time zone. You're not in your element, so you're just
But-
tired more for some reason when you're traveling.
All of this came to our attention because last night we were watching TV, and we
I
had
love this show.
we caught the world's
Discovery.
fattest man.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, and it's a Brit now, and now they're passing the torch. It used to be Manuel Uribe, who we found out about through
The Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel or TLC.
Thank you,
and-
Learning Channel.
And Manuel
Oh, I love this.
is the hands. He's the
There
king.
he is. There he is.
He's Mexican.
God,
Look him
a
up.
set of tits.
So that
Those aren't his tits. Those
Yeah.
are just fat.
He has gradually ballooned to the weight of 6.5 men.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's a tumor.
that looked like balls.
It is. Those are leg balls.
Manuel is now desperate
That's
to lose
hot.
his
He has a
excess
wife, by
weight
the
and
way.
re-enter normal society.
The goal is to have Manuel down to about maybe
What are his
220
toilets
pounds.
made out of?
But how does a person of his astonishing
That's
size
his titty, that's his
even
titty.
begin such a
Okay, listen to
monumental
this.
task?
Listen to what he
And what
eats.
is life on the inside really like for the world's heaviest man?
Oh my God! Wow, is that Fat James?
Now, is this where it lists what he eats?
2008.
Monterrey in northern Mexico,
Yeah.
with over 2 million people, is the country's industrial heartland. It is also home to 42-year-old Manuel
There he is.
Uribe, the
He's
world's
bedridden.
heaviest man.
He's bedridden.
Just sweating.
Of course.
Every morning for Manuel starts with his daily grooming routine.
Don't groom, dude. Just
yeah.
give up.
Shaving, yeah, in bed.
He says, I like doing my hair, looking nice.
Tommy, you speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Translate
For
for
the
us.
past 5 years, this has been Manuel's only view. He not only sleeps in this bed, he washes here, eats here, and goes to the bathroom here.
To pee and make love are the best things. To go to the
Manuel
toilet.
lives with his mother, 62-year-old
The enabler,
Otilia.
his mother.
She looks
Yeah.
after his every
Anorexic.
need, starting each morning with a hot breakfast.
Oh my God,
He's gotta eat.
that's hot.
What is that?
It's a soda. He's washing down his
Is a
plate of
simple
food
one.
with a soda pop
To
in the
someday
morning.
leave this room and venture
Well, this is
back
actually
into
what
the
goes into
outside
how he
world.
got fat first.
Oh,
He
okay.
goes to the States and then he goes to the U.S. and he gets a desk job and he's like, basically, I work next door to a pizza shop and I eat pizza all day. So
This
he
is-
blames it on the pizza shop.
I
next
think
door.
right there, yeah, that's where when he went to Texas.
The Tejas, yeah.
That's more than
Donuts.
pizza.
Couple this with a fast food
There-
diet,
there
washed
we
down with
go.
soft drinks, and Manuel began to grow heavy.
But look, that's him right there. Just
my
a big
God.
dude, just a fat dude.
When Manuel was in America, in the States, he used to eat lots of pizza because he worked right next door to
He
a
likes pizza.
pizzeria.
Who doesn't like pizza?
de pizzas.
The things I liked eating when I was in the States were pizza,
Oh yeah.
burgers, fried chicken,
Who
a
doesn't?
lot of
Yeah,
pasta.
all food. You know what?
spaghetti.
All
Yeah.
food that we all like,
Everyone
but that
likes
we
it.
all put the brakes on sometimes. Because
Not all at the same time.
Yeah.
2001,
Yeah.
Manuel had
I could
ballooned
eat that.
to
I
a
could eat that shit all
staggering
day.
What are his shits like?
look
and
at
he
him
shits
there.
in bed, too.
That's where he's a big fat
yeah.
piece of shit. So he's 500 pounds there, and he doubles
That's
that.
too
He
much.
fucking doubles that.
Wow.
That shit you're seeing now, he's over a grand.
Oh my God.
See,
Oh, look
that,
at
but
those-
that's when you say. I think when you're at 5 large, you kind of go, okay, wait a minute, I'm bedridden. Maybe I should slow it
He
down.
looks pretty good there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that a?
It's a
That's
growth.
a tumor.
Yeah,
so
it's
he
a
grows
growth.
fat tumors in his legs, and they have to operate to get the fat tumors out.
Is that his dick right there? That little thing.
No,
I
that
can't
was.
see his dick anymore.
There's a good-looking guy.
I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and I saw a guy that was like pretty fat. Like he had a cane, and then one of his legs looked like it had one of these tumors, where like the back of his leg just had this extra child
Yeah.
on the back of it. And he just sat there and was at a rest. It was like a rest stop gas station, and they had the slot machine. And he was just sitting there playing slots over and over again. I'm like, how does this guy who could barely even walk just sit here and play slots all day? How does he even get money to even do this?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, we wondered that too. Well, what happened was the new guy is not this guy. This guy
Manuel lost his weight.
lost some weight. The new guy is a guy named Paul. I forget. It's a Brit. He's a British guy. And so he is the new pig of the world. Who? Well, I'm just trying to I don't know how else to describe him, but they didn't think they could get him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they didn't think they had the ambulance for it or the bed. And so you know what they did? They figured out, they're like, we'll have him here at this hospital in England. We don't think the floors can support him.
Jesus.
So they had to reinforce the floors. They put steel columns on all these points that he would be resting at. And they had a successful surgery, and now they're going to follow up. We haven't seen the follow-up, but it's incredible. And actually, you know who it brought to my mind on a much smaller scale, but still, you might know who he is, Earl. Nate Newton. Do you remember Nate Newton?
Dallas Cowboy.
Yes. Have you seen his before and after?
Yeah, he was a big guy, but he smoked a lot of pot, so he ate a lot.
Well, yeah, but he was
That'll
also
do it. Weed make me fat.
he was. I mean, look at Nate.
He was close to 400 pounds.
He was 400. He was 4 bills at one point.
Okay. Oh, that's him.
That's him now. That's him after.
Wow. Isn't it creepy when they lose
Dude,
a lot of weight?
wait till you see him.
They look
Look
weird.
right here. Wait till you see him.
Jeez, nice teeth.
Yeah.
That's him saying hi to Dion. No, that's Dion.
Oh, that's Nate Newton.
And that's Nate in the red.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Dude, look at him. Wait, I mean, really look at this guy. He's
God.
in shape.
To understand that reaction, you have to see what Newton used to look like in his prime time playing
great.
days for the Dallas.
Well, now they're just showing.
But look at him,
Damn.
dude. Look at him there.
Oh,
All right, pause that.
Oh, he's so tiny.
Can you go on another thing, open up?
Whoops. Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
No way.
Wow.
Dude, he was a
that's
house,
so
though. That's
creepy.
not even doing justice.
He was
to
bigger
how-
than that.
Way bigger than that. I mean,
But I like him better bigger.
I think I like him better bigger too.
I
Yeah.
like fat people, though. I'm very pro.
can you
fat
do an
people.
image, a Google image search of Nate Newton?
We sure can.
And
I like him fat.
but look at that guy. I mean, he really lost it all. It's really incredible.
Now tell him how he lost it, though. Didn't you tell me yesterday?
Crystal meth.
No,
No.
I mean, but like the guy, he was a house, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's a house.
Is
Yeah.
that him in the giraffe?
Yeah, that's him with the chips.
He was like deep refrigerator Perry.
He was the kitchen. That's what they called him, man.
The kitchen.
The kitchen, yeah.
Fuck the refrigerator. He's the whole kitchen.
Like, look at that guy, man. Number 61.
Yeah, he was a big
That's a
dude.
big
Holy
motherfucker.
fuck, yeah.
And
Wait,
he was.
How many bills is he?
He's
saying?
playing at 330, 340, but he would get up to 390, 400, you know, like in the off season. Yeah, he was a monster of a human being. But he did. Oh, so here's the thing. Oh, this is what you're talking about, babe.
Yeah, like his diet plan.
You know Real Sports? You ever watch Real Sports?
Oh, I love that show.
So they did a profile on basically linemen who after they play, you know, like you play, let's say you play your lineman, you play at 310 or something, right? Then you're done. And if you decide not to take that down to that totally from that unnecessary weight
Right.
to like a more manageable weight, like 230, 240, they're like, if you're not doing, you know, if you don't take it down, then it's really easy to snowball the other way, right? Like
Sure.
right? Because you're not running and you're not lifting, and you don't have that football regimen. So these guys are getting up to like 4 bills, and then after that, it's just a lifetime of health problems.
Yeah.
So they profiled a couple guys, show these guys that had really like just they're out of control now, and they don't know. They're one of them died shortly, like the next day after the interview, he died. And they showed Nate Newton, and he was basically like, "Look, I'm never gonna stop eating like the way I eat.
Yeah,
I
good
love
for
to
you."
eat." He's like, "The only way
Yeah.
that I can counterbalance what I eat is I exercise like 5 hours a day now,
That's
because
awesome.
I'm never gonna make like really awesome decisions with food." I'm gonna eat,
wish I
so I'm
could
just
do
gonna
that.
exercise a lot more, and that was his like solution. He had the surgery, but that's how he does it. That's how he maintains it now. Is
Yeah,
that he
that's
exercises.
smart. Like, I wish I
nonstop.
liked exercise, but I fucking hate it.
Me too.
I hate it. I've always been lazy my whole life. So, like, my only choice is just to not eat shit.
But I feel like I'm
And that's
Nate
how I
Newton.
You what?
I'm Nate Newton. I feel like I'm Nate Newton.
No, you're no Nate Newton.
You look just like Nate Newton.
But I feel like his philosophy is a good one.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you like your treats. Just
I like to eat food.
eat your treats.
You can eat anything you want if you work out enough.
Yeah. Well, just look at like the example of that is you heard about Phelps's diet, right?
Right.
Michael Phelps,
What
the
does he
swimmer.
do?
Well, when he's training, he eats 12,000 calories a day.
Of weed. Oh my God! Really?
That's
a lot.
That's Manuel Uribe style.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you seen Phelps? Have you seen what he looks like?
Looks
Got a great
amazing.
body.
But he just exercises all
Can
day.
you
Swims all day.
can you pull up what he eats?
Wait, but
and then
he's
send it
literally
to you.
in a pool all day. Like you kind of have to have
no, but
that many,
it's
right?
it's the extreme example of the fuel for what you
Right,
do.
right,
Now
right.
he absolutely needs it. You couldn't do what he does without that fuel. But when you read what he actually
Michael
eats,
Phelps.
Stop talking about it.
Well, because it's so impressive to us because he looks so lean and so efficient, and yet it seems that he eats like a garbage can. This guy,
Like a garbage
12,000
can?
calories a day. Let's break down the meals for you, okay? So at breakfast, we have these 3 massive egg sandwiches with all kinds of mayo and tomatoes and all that stuff. That's part of breakfast. He also has a 5-egg omelet.
Five-egg
Okay.
omelet.
He will eat a bowl of grits. Okay. He will eat these chocolate chip pancakes.
Right.
Chocolate
Are you going to be able to
chip.
hold it?
He's
You
a
want me to
total
snap it? Yeah,
stoner.
all right. Don't like messing with the
This is
franchise.
breakfast. Don't drop that on
The
your nice
French
sweater.
toast, the powdered things.
Oh, watch the syrup.
Okay. He will wash it down with 2 cups
Watch
of
the
coffee
syrup.
breakfast. Okay. Now
That's just
lunch.
breakfast.
I'm not
That's
finished.
just breakfast.
Great.
You see these big ham sandwiches, okay, with all kinds of crunchy, gooey things inside of them. A pound of pasta.
A pound.
1,000 calories in energy drinks. Okay.
We've got to show what a pound of pasta looks like. Though.
That
When
is
you
a pound
eat
of
the whole-
pasta.
It's the whole thing.
Okay, now, dinner time, a full pizza, another pound of pasta, and another 1,000 calories or so
How the
of energy.
fuck does he even
Now, what
do
I
that?
see?
Like that you?
Like your stomach. How does your
Yeah,
Kobayashi
that doesn't even
can't
seem possible.
You must shit in the pool.
it's just. Have you ever done it where you
I wish he would shit in the pool. That would be the best. I would watch every
and no one
race.
says anything? They
Like,
just
oh,
keep
that's
their
Phelps'
like
thing, yeah.
That makes him go faster.
He
No, they have a
just
guy.
shits in the pool.
They have a guy with one of those nets right behind him. Just like, just throws it out.
Seen
That's
Lane
awesome.
want a big brown bomb.
Yeah, it's incredible. But that is like, have you ever done it where like, you work out and then you're like, wow, like an hour later, you're like, I'm actually much more hungry now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have ever swam, like if you can swim 5 minutes and it's like, oh my God, you feel every muscle working and aching and burning. This guy swims like 6 hours a day?
Oh my
Like
God.
it's
I would
nonstop.
die.
It's incredible, man.
How old is Phelps?
He's younger than us.
Mid-20s?
24 or so.
Is he that young?
I think he.
I thought he was a little older than that.
How long can you be a swimmer? Like when does that end?
He's probably gonna do this next Olympics, and that would be his.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Because I know football players, man. Like when you retire, you're just broken down, right? Like just
Well,
from
you don't.
years
You
of
don't.
being crushed.
No, I mean you're not broke. You're broke if you're stupid.
No,
with
no,
your money.
broken down. Your
Oh,
body,
broken
I'm
down.
saying.
Oh, they're completely fucking
You're just
wrecked.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, after playing
No, he
football.
can enjoy a nice long life. Phelps can.
Yeah.
Swimming's the way to go. Football, it's just like not only is a shit hurt, but like you basically end up retarded. Like some of them.
yeah, they can't.
Like they
talk,
have
like
they
boxers.
have they have brains. They have examined brains, and they have like an 85-year-old Alzheimer patient's brain.
A lot of brown matter.
Boxers.
Oh, boxers are
and
really
MMA
dopey.
fighters too. Those guys. I mean, you've seen what is his name, Anderson Silva, like in an interview, and he's like,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah. I mean, well, your head's getting smashed
Well, you
for years.
watch some of those interviews with the guys who were in the first few UFCs.
Oh, yeah.
Which was unlimited, well, not unlimited, but like 4
basically
fights a
no
night.
rules. Yeah.
Pretty much human cockfighting. No weight classes.
That's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
So I enjoy gay porn every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't always enjoy gay porn. But
This is,
when I do, I choose MMA.
This has been super fun.
That's
this
fucking
is the
great.
Unfortunately, it's not normally like this. We usually go for longer, but we have to
sorry.
wrap up today.
Oh, wait, but Earl's got a CD out. We should let him
Oh,
know.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If I could tell you guys how to download it for free, I would.
Yeah.
But, it's very ghetto. It was done like Rat's EP. It's very Motley Crue's EP. Very self-recorded with my Zoom digital recorder facing away from the speakers.
So metal, dude. That's very metal.
Very
though.
metal.
Well, yeah, it's a garage recordings at various.
Where can we download it at?
iTunes and Amazon.
Oh.
It's
so go to iTunes. Is there a name for the album?
Earl Alive. I totally ripped off Kiss Alive.
That makes
You're
sense,
a true
though.
fan,
That
man.
makes sense.
I'm a big
Earl
Kiss
Alive.
fan.
Earl Alive. It's Earl Skakel.
Skakel.
And the
Do you have a
album is
website,
called
Earl?
Earl Alive.
Earl Alive. No, I'm just on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, he's on Facebook. Follow him. He's very
Where-
funny. And where are you going to be this week?
I'll be at in Vancouver at the Vogue Theater with Deuce Bigelow, and then a Saturday in Victoria at the Royal Theater.
The Vogue. Is that the one that I did with Joe?
I think it is. It's where Rogan was at last month with Ari.
Yeah. That was me too.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah, I was there too.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
there to watch the UFC.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
The Vogue is in Vancouver.
Yeah, it's like in the main.
Yeah.
Like they're.
That's the one we did.
Wow.
Nice.
I didn't know you were there.
Yeah. I was there. It was really fun. Vancouver is one of my favorite cities, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
An awesome city, and I'm going back again in November to play the Comedy Mix.
Cool.
My favorite club. So yeah, Earl's hilarious. I got to see you open for Rob Schneider
Calgary.
in Calgary. You were hilarious, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely killed it.
Oh, Skakel's the best. And a great human being and a very funny.
Well, you guys are the best.
I
You guys-
love Earl
No,
Skakel.
man.
You're
I'm so
awesome.
glad you came in today.
Thanks for
And
being.
Tommy, where are you going to be this week so people know?
This weekend. Oh,
No,
I'm
Vancouver?
No, this
No.
weekend I'm actually going to go do a couple shows with Joe here
Okay.
in town.
Okay.
At the,
Oh, cool.
Ice House.
at the Ice House in Pasadena. And next week I'll be in Montreal at the Montreal Comedy
Oh,
Festival.
mommy.
So that'll be fun. And then, are you doing this weekend?
I think I'm doing this weekend. I also will be at the Ice House Thursday for Comedy Juice, 10 p.m.
Oh, the Comedy Juice.
It's always good.
Christina?
And this mommy will be at the Comedy Store tonight at 11:15, and then I'm coming to Scottsdale at Stand Up Scottsdale the week of August 12th. So get your tickets online or on my Facebook page. The link is there.
Yeah.
Earl,
And then
thanks for
Lucy
doing
Fest.
this.
I love you
when's
guys.
Lucy Fest?
Oh, Lucy Fest. It's in Upper New York, New York State, August 4th through 7th.
Yeah.
And I'll be playing the part of Lucille Ball
No
on
way.
a radio show, like reenactment
That's so
of
rad.
one of Lucy's plays. It's gonna be awesome.
Earl, you have to do this again. Next time we'll
Yes.
do it. We don't normally have time constraints.
Yeah,
but we,
sorry, Skakes.
Please,
Yeah.
because there's a million things I want to ask you still.
I
We'll
love.
bring you back. We'll have to bring you back.
I love everyone in this room.
Yeah, this is
Redban.
just part one of your.
Yeah,
Part
you're
one.
going to have
part-
another one, man.
This
Definitely.
is-
coming
oh,
back.
absolutely. I'm honored and humbled.
You're the
We'll do this
best.
again.
All right.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye, mommies.
Bye, Mommy.
I scratch around the brim. I let my mind give in, yeah. The crowd begins to grin.
Why don't we talk about what happened yesterday?
Oh my God, Tommy. Yeah, this is a good bonus material.
Yeah.
So my husband comes home off the road, and usually the first thing we do, we eat a lot, and then we break off a nut. We bust that first nut as a married couple, Earl.
Yeah.
Sure.
And this is Earl Skakel, by the way.
Hey,
Well,
guys.
you'll know that by then.
Yeah, by then,
so
yeah.
anyway, okay, so usually the first nut is kind of like, it's a given. It's not going to last very long. It's kind of a cursory, like, well, all right, I'll throw them out.
It's basically bring you back to normal.
Yeah.
Just to restabilize the couple, re-entry.
Yeah.
Tommy, why don't you tell them what you said to me?
Well, I mean, it wasn't planned. It was just
yeah.
I knew like loving times were going to happen. So we got, I got in bed, and then she got in bed, and then I was like, "Hey, this one's for me. Roll over."
Literally. No.
Nice.
I don't think you understand. It literally was said, "Hey, this one's for me." And then he goes, "Roll over."
Like you would say to a prostitute or something.
Right. Right. And I was
then-
like, I can't believe you just said that.
And then I did my duty.
Where you gave him the ass?
Yeah.
No.
It was like American Me. Like, when he comes out of prison
My favorite scene ever.
and he has no emotional attachment.
But here's what I was trying to say. I was actually
Yeah.
it sounds crass, but I was actually trying to be considerate. What I was saying was like, look, this isn't going to be a mutually beneficial lovemaking session. I'm not going to I know that where I'm at mentally and physically right now, I'm in no position to please you.
Right. It was considerate.
I was just making it clear, like, hey, by the way, this isn't going to be a dual session.
This will be a reciprocal thing.
Right. I
You
just-
just lay there and take it.
That's exactly what I
Earl,
meant.
would you ever do that to a woman?
I don't do anal 'cause,
No, we're not doing
we
anal.
didn't
It
do
wasn't
that.
anal. I don't do anal.
it
No, we're
wasn't
just
anal.
kidding. No, but it was the position was just kind of roll over and let's just.
Become a fleshlight. Just,
Right.
just you're a tool to get me from
Right.
to come.
But you know
real
what I
quick.
mean? We're like, I haven't.
But in a married
I
sort
haven't
of
seen
sweet
you.
way. Yeah.
I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
In a few days, we haven't had sex in like
Yeah.
a week. Because I've been gone.
That's right.
And so it was like I knew where I was at. Like I knew I was at the. This isn't gonna I have to get this out of me.
Earl looks so uncomfortable with
Sorry.
this
No,
subject.
no.
Do you have a lady friend in your life or?
I have a beautiful girlfriend, but I jack off a lot on the road. A lot.
I think every guy.
Yeah, every
does,
guy
right?
does, yeah.
But I do more than most.
Really?
Well, because Deuce Bigelow, he gets a lot of offers, but he's 100% faithful. And Jeff Richards at the time he was with us, he was 100% faithful. So they would all come to me, and so I'd have to jerk off so I wouldn't be tempted.
Oh, I get that. Yeah. So he's saying because there's basically both of those guys that are super famous
Right.
are turning down hot ass.
I see.
So it's all trickling down to him, and in order to not be tempted, he's working loads out of them all the time.
Oh, that's so nice, Earl.
Because I don't have anyone to pawn them off to.
You're right. He can't be like, go over there.
So, like in Edmonton, I had these two 18-year-olds who said, hey, our dad got us a hotel room. Do you want to come up with us? So I had to jack off in the green room.
Did you really?
Oh, absolutely. While
Hold
Rob
on.
was on stage.
Hold on. So they approach you like before the show starts, or
No, this is I had Edmonton's a hockey town, and I do a lot of hockey jokes when I'm up
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
these two Mexican girls loved me, and they propositioned me while Jeff was on stage.
Holy shit!
Wow.
And
So what do you say? You're like, hold on a second, and then, or do you say no, and then?
I'm like, hey, listen, I got to go take care of some stuff for Rob. So I went in the green room and just rubbed one out, and then they were right outside, and I said, hey, girls, I can't. We got a plane to catch.
Wow.
That is
what
awesome.
a gentleman. I really respect that.
I just thought of something I've never said. I don't think I've ever said this before, but you guys remember the Houston Improv when they they moved the old Houston Improv into the new one, and they took all the old seats out of the Improv and moved, or was that Houston Laugh Stop or whatever that big Houston club was? They moved anyways.
Yeah.
The Houston Comedy Club, that the big one that was really cool, closed down, and they got a new location. And what they did is they took the entire every single table and they recreated the comedy club down the street. And it was like the first weekend it was open, and I was dating this girl named Jessica, and we were in the green room, we're like, let's fuck real quick. And so we fucked real quick, and it was so stupid because it was Joe could have walked in, somebody could have walked in at any time. And when we were done, we just did a quick one. When we were done, there was this big little wet spot in the middle of the couch, and then we came back 6 months later, and that wet spot was still there. So I don't know what seeped out of that woman's vagina,
Well,
but it's
see that a lot
That's
in
comedy
not just in club but in hotels.
Yeah.
A lot of hotels, condos where you'll see weird stains, but everywhere,
yeah.
like couches, bedspreads. The dog just tried to kill me. She tried to kill me. She jumped off of Earl's lap and landed on the cord, and so it pulled my ears like this, and I thought she was trying to kill me.
I wish that would happen more.
That was genuine. Wait a minute, but
there's
you've seen those stains,
everywhere.
yeah.
Well, in comedy condos
Those are the
are just
grossest.
laden with jizz. There's just jizz all over.
The
and
grossest
it's
thing
so
ever
fucking gross.
was one time I flew into to do a club, and we're on the way, and it's one of the clubs that doesn't put you in a hotel, right? So you're like,
great.
You're going, and they're like, we're going to the condo, and you're like, how's the condo? And they're like, it's all right, which is it's fucking terrible. If they're saying it's all right,
Yeah,
sometimes
usually they pump
a lot
it
of times they'll be like, it's a really
Yeah.
nice our condo's not like
No.
other condos, but this they were like, it's not that great. And I go,
Oh God.
I go, who stayed there last week? And they go, Jay Medicine Hat. He's a hypnotist comic.
Oh fuck.
And he's really popular in the Midwest.
Yeah, they
and
always are.
I go, oh, how was that? And they're like, yeah, it was good. And they're like, but he's a fucking pig. We had to clean his, he shaved his pubes in the sink and stuff. And I was like, aren't I going to that room right now? And they were like, yeah, we just cleaned it up. And I was like, I don't want to know that. I mean, I want to know that, but I don't want to know that. Like now I can only imagine what he did in the bed and on the floor. It's
Yeah,
like,
if his asshole shaves his pubes in the sink.
Yeah.
What kind of animal? First of all, it's not at waist level generally. A sink. How did he get his?
Yeah, he
junk?
put his junk up in there. Yeah.
It's really gross.
It's a disgusting thing.
Well, good for you, Earl. Though I'm very glad to hear. So does that take care of the? Is that just it with men? That if you, as long as you ejaculate, the urge to.
For me.
For you is just to kind of. Well, I'm
pretty,
okay now. I
It's
don't
pretty
need to do
much a
this.
thing where like if the poison's out of you,
Mhm.
you like if you could be whatever offer could be on the table, but like if that stuff just came out of you, you're not pursuing anything. And I
Right,
think, you
the
know what I mean?
poison's gone.
The poison's gone. Yeah.
It's still hard some nights, though.
Yeah. Sure. Temptation and yeah.
Some beautiful women out there. You know, I'm a big titty guy, so like in Jacksonville, I've never seen so many just mammoth mammaries, and I mean, it's just sometimes you have to jerk it out twice. Just
wow.
Wait, how many times a day do you normally jerk it?
Well, I'm on a lot of testosterone pills and workout stuff, so I have a full count in me. So I got a lot of.
You take
protein.
testosterone pills?
Well, it's the legal kind.
The legal kind. Okay.
You know,
like from GNC or some shit.
right? It's not like the stuff.
What's it called?
Alistair Overeem takes, or
Who's that?
He's this MMA guy who,
Oh.
2 years ago, looked like Raj from What's Happening, and now he's like this. Redban knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's like some jacked monster. So you got a lot of loads in you.
Sure.
You gotta blow it out.
No, yeah, I'm kind of I feel like almost naturally high testosterone. No, really.
Well, you're hairy.
I'm a hairy, just fucking savage bear, and I really have to crank them out regularly.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was
No, I
saying.
know.
Like, I really have a lot of love to give.
Well, because I notice if we don't do it or you're not milked, so to speak, by day 3, I would like if I'm sick or something and we're not doing it, like I can see him emotionally get crazy. Like the poison's inside of you, and it's like the Hulk. Like I can see you starting to Hulk out.
Hulk, come!
And I know that's when it's time for you to be milked because you're extremely agitated. You get very angry. And I'm like, oh. Then I think about it like that's what needs to happen.
That's what needs to happen. Well, hopefully, people are listening and learning.
And luckily, you iTunes users got bonus cum footage.
Bonus.
You guys gotta
Jizz
milk your man.
bonus.
That's the whole point of this. Milk your man.
Gotta milk those nuts.
3 days is a lot.